We're about to interview student Matt Legg, who has suffered from severe depression and has been forced to defer his studies for a year. Thankfully, Matt is now in a much better place and has spent the last few months raising money for the FC Not Alone campaign, a World Cup charity football tournament. He's raised over £10,000 for mental health charities. We asked Matt about the triggers for anxiety and depression, the useful resources and the coping mechanisms that have worked for him. Matt, hello.
Hiya.
Thank you very much for allowing us to interview you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So Matt, what would you say to somebody who's at uni feeling a similar way to how you felt?
I think the first thing I've come to realise is it's just completely normal. Loads of people are feeling the same way. The issue is that people aren't discussing it. The issue is not that you're feeling that way. At uni, you are faced with an extraordinary number of pressures, socially, academically, sporting, and finally financially. You have this pressure that, oh my word, I'm paying £9,000 a year and I'm supposed to be enjoying myself, succeeding. It's normal you're going to feel at times down about it because it is such enormous pressure on you. It feels that way at times. So just speak out, speak to your friends. I've received no negative feedback from absolutely anyone, just support. People are there, people like to help other people, it's human nature.
So what elements of society do you think are, I suppose, making people vulnerable to things like anxiety and depression?
I think the most recent development is definitely the era of social media and being obsessed with social media. So that's the current era we live in, and you face a lot of pressures with that because people are assessing their success by likes and comments and shares. And because it's never ending, if you scroll down on your feed for anything, there's just more and more and more. So you just feel there's this constant pressure to, oh, I need to share this that gets liked. And I think a lot of people feel the pressure of that. I think also there's a lot more publicity towards success and the need for student success, and there's just endless pressures on people in society, and if you have no outlet for that, it can come all together, and that's what kind of makes the anxiety grow. And anxiety, if not dealt with, or if not if you don't learn these techniques, it can easily tip into depression, and that's what happened in my case.
If you are a friend or relative of somebody who you think is going through a difficult time, how can they help? What should they do?
I can understand from a friend's perspective or family, it is difficult because you don't want to be intrusive. But I think just a phone call, a message, just going, hi, just double checking you're well, or you seem not yourself, I'm here. It'll be completely confidential, non-judgmental. Talk to me. Just talk to me, or here's a support service you can go to, or here's this amazing thing I saw on YouTube about kind of learning to cope, or here's this online course. Just giving them the resources they need so in their own time they can have a Google. I think or just seeing them in person, just going, are you okay? And even if they go, yeah, and you go, are you actually okay? Or these things are all very important, and they can be things that people regret not doing. I have met people who have this constant regret because they didn't say anything because they felt uncomfortable and didn't want to be intrusive. I think the first step is just letting them know you're there, you're happy to talk, you won't mention it to anyone, they can trust you, it's non-judgmental, and you're there, you're just there. And
can it be easier to talk to a support service or somebody that's slightly further removed, I guess, from you?
I believe so. As I said, I use that way as a first form of communication. I think also having these services that are chat lines can be very helpful, because making that first walk up to kind of maybe seeing a counsellor, once you've done it, it's incredible, it's great, I'll tell you now. Just having that first conversation, amazing, I've done it, I'd recommend it. But making those first steps is important, because you're thinking, here's this human I've never met, and I'm sharing some of my deepest stuff with them. So yeah, I think chat lines are great, and I can see why it's difficult to converse with someone so far removed, but it's also, you've got to think, you're not going to see them. They're there to help, and you'll feel so much better, and it's not going to have any negative implications on your life. only positive.
And I think, you know, it's kind of good to know that right at the beginning of your journey you spoke to somebody at Calm who you've obviously been working with like since, but you still don't know who that person was that you've spoken to. So
no.
when they say confidentiality, they really, really mean it.
And they have 10,000 calls a month, so I'm just one of those 10,000. So you've got everything you need off your chest, and they're there to help you. They are trained to help you. It's their job.